Nasi wanted to speak with you, ma'am. Request, ma'am. As I understand it, there was something private he wished to ask you. Concerning, mutual acquaintance, I believe is how he put it.
It's a little beat up, but it's still home. I wasn't able to be here to protect it when the Sith attacked the first time. This time you gave me a second chance. I owe you. I've read your records, how the Jedi sentenced you for doing what you believed. You wandered past the Outer Rim during your exile. I ask you, did you find any trace of Revan? I served with her, like you did, and we had to part, like you did. She said that there were places where she had to walk where I could not go. Places that she could not bring those she loved. I've waited for her to come back for almost 4 years. It doesn't get any easier. I would have done anything she asked. And when she told me to stay here, to try to keep the Republic strong, that was the hardest thing of all. I don't know, but it was important to her. She said that she believed something had been behind the Mandalorian Wars, that it hadn't been the Mandalorians' choice to attack the Republic. Whatever it was, I think she went off to find it, to fight it. It was near the end of the Jedi Civil War, when it seemed like we were going to lose everything. We met on a Republic warship called the Endar Spire. It was being attacked over Terrace, and the Sith had stormed the ship. We saved the Republic. But it was like the war didn't end for her. She would keep remembering things that she had done, and it kept driving her. And she kept using it as a wall between us. And I think she finally remembered something terrible she had done during the Mandalorian Wars, and she went to put an end to it. She left without warning. She didn't say where, only that it was to a place where she could not take anyone she loved. And here you return, with her ship, without her. Yes, wherever she went, your ship's been there. If you return to that place, if you find some trace of Revan, no, simply tell her that Cartho Nasi is waiting for her. Safe journey, Exile.
It has been some time.
You were a fool to return. I spared you once. I will not do so again.
Spare me? Ah, yes. No, you simply did not learn the lesson I sought to teach. That your strength is as meaningless as the strength of my hand.
Why have you returned?
Because now I understand why the Exile did what she did. There is much to be done.
master she is here.
I know.
What is thy bidding, my master?
You are to do nothing. When she arrives, bring her before me.
She may not survive Malachor.
So touching. Can it be you still have feelings within that shell?
Master, what will you do to her?
You know what I shall do. You, who wear my teachings so well. I will break her. She is a blank slate upon which my teachings may be written, as you well know. Leave me. Await the arrival of the Exile. When she comes, bring her before me. course, apprentice. The Huntress is with the Exile. She has a special talent for finding that which should remain lost. It also makes her difficult for me to sense, but not to a creature bred for such things.
Shall I send the assassins for her?
No, I have brought a beast to Malachor to deal with that one. If she survives, she will become stronger for it.
Well, here's a surprise. Yet another slice of gold. Why can't we ever go to Alderaan or Ithor or someplace without metal, jagged rocks, or packs of bloodthirsty beasts? say we fire a rocket at her right now and blow her screaming, burning body into the heart of this planet.
It wouldn't work. If there were other distractions, maybe. If she wasn't telepathic, maybe. If you want to kill her like that, you need something else to occupy her attention. Otherwise, you might just wound her, and then we'd all be in trouble.
This battle will not be decided by weapons.
You are wrong. Manipulation is Krea's strength, not battle. We have a chance. We just have to figure out how to make use of it.
If you are watching this, and what the General suspected was true, the Sith are striking from the graveyard of Malachor V. The ship the Sith Lord was on was one of the vessels damaged in that final battle. If you reach Malachor's surface, the mass shadow generator can be undone, provided there are enough vessels intact within the orbiting debris or buried in the planet's surface. Use the sequence I am unlocking in your memory banks on the engine core of any vessel you encounter on Malachor. If my calculations are correct, 4 vessels should be enough to power up the mass shadow generator and undo the damage that was done in Malachor V, the damage I did. Once the sequence has begun, it cannot be stopped. So make sure the General is off the planet before triggering the sequence. Otherwise, there will be no retreat. I know your weapon systems are minimal, and I don't know what awaits you on Malachor's surface. Try to avoid contact with any potential threats. Follow your programming.
Annoying in the extreme, I find my urge to shoot you takes a higher priority. Statement. I hear and obey.
This HK unit is old, but it has its certain charm in its obedience to me. I shall have to remember some of his traits when I build future generations from his schematics.
Statement. Come out, little one. I promise I will end you quickly without a single lingering charge remaining in your behavior core. Statement. Hiding from me is useless. I will find you eventually. You only delay the inevitable.
We've come a long way, Kreia. Don't bother getting up.
Ah, the Huntress. To come alone. You are braver than I thought.
She is not alone. We stand with her.
And with her, stand all the Jedi.
And now I come in saying something suitably heroic.
Children with lightsabers, but not Jedi, I think. Come close. Let me look upon you and see what the Exile's teaching has forged. An assassin, wasted pawn of the Republic, a blinded slave, and a fool. Which of you wishes to try yourselves against me? As you can see, I am unarmed. You, perhaps. You are a wasted pawn of the Republic, young one. You could have been so much more, even with your wide-eyed innocence, your naive love for others. Think before you throw away your life for her. Think of everything you will lose by dying. Your lusts unfulfilled, a dance unfinished, a love requited. Think before you give it up so quickly. And you, blind one, you have hungered to strike me down ever since you saw the bond the Exile and I share. Can you feel the Force running through me, even past the veil, past your blooded eyes? You know you cannot win.
Force runs strong within you, Treya. But in the howling of a storm, it is difficult to hear the whisper of the blade. You have forever been the blind one. You were given a gift few are ever given, and yet you let your gift of sight warp you, twist.
You think your existence under your lord was torture, Miraluka? I will make you see.